Hello, friends, and welcome back to Season 6. I'm with a new alliance now, reKT. So today, war number 1, we're facing Relax, Leisure Land. I'll be going in with my standard team. A little bit different path in my new alliance, starting off with the 6-7 switch, or the Brian Grant path, as it were. And I hope you are ready for some grade A gameplay today. A as in amateur, because, yep, I've had much better wars, for sure. So this is my first time playing in this tier. So I'm used to like 4-5-ish back in Gold 1 in my previous alliance. So this alliance, they finished Plat 2 last season. Um, so the nodes on the expert map are much more difficult. So we're starting off here with the Bishop. Now, Bishop, very easy fight. Except when he decides to totally break your block, as you'll see here in a second. So baiting out the S2, holding block, and yep, there we go. Just knocks me over. He wasn't unblockable. Not really sure what happened there. So healing up a little bit from the debuffs with the Killmonger synergy, and the fight is going, pretty well. Get tagged there, going in for an intercept. So I'm already down 60% of my health, and this is just the first fight. So it's gonna be one of those wars. So I take a couple blocked hits on his S2, dodge the rest, and get him down. So this is the Bane Stun Immune node, and this is a 6-star Yondu. So definitely going to heal up Void for this. In retrospect, I probably should have gone in with Blade for the additional bleed damage rather than going in with Void. But, you learn. So again, Yondu, pretty easy fight as long as you can get in safe Bane transfers. Not a problem. Trying to bait out an intercept. I parry him, and then he breaks through my block, and then I go in and he parries me. So I lose a lot of health there, right away from the Bane and getting hit. Trying to bait out his S1 because I do not, under any circumstances, want to push him to his S2. So I get him to throw it, and by then I've hit my S2, so I go ahead and throw that. Go back in here, so I've got a little bit of extra degen on him, but the timing is not great, so I'm taking a little teeny bit of Bane damage there. And now I have the fight kind of more under control, and Yondu goes down. So some really just, as I said earlier, amateurish mistakes. So this is a really interesting fight. So this is the Buffet Limber recovery node. And I was going in definitely expecting somebody who was going to counter Void. I was really thinking it was going to be an Agent Venom. So Taskmaster was really like the worst case scenario, I guess, because with Void, you'll get some debuffs on him, and then he'll go debuff immune. So whatever debuffs you have on him when he does that is what sticks the rest of the fight. So my thinking was, I could go in with Blade and hopefully get enough bleeds on him to damage him. And about halfway through the fight, I remember to just block the special attacks instead of dodging them and go back in for the counter. But still, it's at this point, I'm thinking the fight's going pretty well. I get off a nice intercept there, block the S2, go back in. The problem with this node and my roster is that you really want to go in with a high damage champ like Sparky. So here's where the fight goes kind of off the rails. So I go back in, I get parried, go back in again and get tagged, and then of course he straight up blocks my special attack. So now I'm in a bad spot, trying to use what power I have left to regen. Getting off an intercept if I can, and then I'm gonna have to block another special. He throws the heavy so I can get in, but of course he recovers instantly from that heavy attack. I don't know what happened. So I'm looking at the clock because I'm thinking, worst case, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to turn this fight around at this point because I'm getting a little rattled here. I trigger Buffet by accident there instead of just blocking. So clock, less than a minute left. I'm almost certain at this point that I'm going to time out, and that's kind of what I'm shooting for now, rather than wasting a revive if I need blade later. So I'm trying to do as much damage as I can, and then I'm going to come back in with void at the end here. But yeah, just really frustrating fight. Mostly because it was a good placement by them. They don't. I don't have the proper champion to deal with this. I maybe could have gone in with Void, but it's class disadvantage, and if you don't get the petrified debuffs up in the short amount of time you have before he goes debuff immune, you are completely screwed with Void. So you really need like a Starkey or a Star-Lord or somebody high damage who doesn't rely on debuffs for this fight, and I just don't have that. So fight ends, timeout. So I technically give up a death even though I didn't die, which sucks. Felt really terrible about it. So I'm going to go back in and try and clean up with Void here, hoping that the degen will get him stay up long enough for the fight to be over, and I can move on. And of course, trying to heal up, you get the connection issues because everything else has gone wrong in this war so far. Why not get some connection issues while I'm at it? Alright, so nearly full void going up against the rest of Taskmaster here. Get off a nice intercept at the start. Good start. Get off another intercept at the start here. So I'm not wasting my parry stuns, so I get a debuff on him right away. I'm pulling off some nice intercepts there. This fight is already going far better than the previous one did. Use up one of my parries there, and get a third debuff, but it's one of the same ones, so it's not any additional degen. I forget to just block the specials there, but it doesn't matter because he goes down. Alright, next up is a 565 Domino on the mini-boss node. So I'm going to do the rest of my path. Now this is the following morning, so this morning actually. So I figured, I already give up one death. I don't want to give up any more, so I'm going to strap on some big boy boosts. Maybe a little attack boost, I think. I don't know why these are so mixed up. It's just in a weird order. I do drop 30 units because I had used the attack boost for some other event. I think maybe variant or whatever. And then I think I strap on an invulnerability boost here just in case. So I am going to go in with Void. And the danger here, of course, is if you get to a point where Fear of the Void fails to trigger. That's worst case scenario here. But I notice right away at the start of the fight that this person is running suicides. So as long as I can get her to throw her specials, she'll be taking some recoil damage, which should help me in the end. And in addition, that poison debuff that she has on is working in tandem with Void's natural ability, so she's taking extra degen above and beyond what she's healing from wheel power, which is great. Get her to throw the S2 right away, which is nice. That's always what I prefer. I'm not paying attention well enough, and she evades as soon as she gets that lucky, so she skips out on my S1, but I get another one right away. Push her to her S2. Going great again. She throws her special right away. Finally, a good fight. Baiting out the heavy attack. I don't really like to do the medium evade. My unlucky wore off, so I can dex that special one. And again, another special attack straight up blocked, which has been a problem for me for weeks now. I don't expect that they'll fix it. So, all right. So this is the explosive personality 6-star Iron Man. Very comfortable fighting Iron Man, and pretty much on this node, all you want to do is just continuously go in for heavies. I will go in for a single medium. Sometimes if he ends with that double kick, I usually just glance up to the armor up nodes to see if he is going to parry me or not before I do it. So the heavy attack again has 3 hits, three hits in it, so it's going to remove 3 of those aggression armor up nodes. Didn't really feel comfortable going in there. go in there. Probably shouldn't have. He auto blocks my special. That's fine. This fight is interesting to me because right now you're already a third of the way through, and it really looks like you haven't done much damage because these 6-stars are pretty beefy. But as long as you stick with it and don't mistime the second shot of a special one, you'll be fine. All right, so I've got a Petrify up on him, so 3 unique debuffs. In a good position here. Just keep baiting out the heavies and responding with heavy intercepts. I actually managed to get the special one dodge there, so that's good. Get another debuff. So waiting for Fear of the Void to trigger. He's ticking for a ton. I go in because I'm looking at my side of the screen instead of his, and he parries me. But he doesn't really go in for a full 5-hit, which is lucky on my part. Auto blocks the special 2 again, because why not? Alright, so I get the dex there. Oh, get parried again, because, okay. So now, it's not looking too good, right? Just gotta wait for the degen to tick him down, and not get tagged by block damage. So he does go down. I do waste most of my health, missing on those 2 special ones, and getting parried a couple times. So I healed up in between, I forgot to show it. So I did, I wasn't sure what to do on this node, because I only had like 5 items left, and I knew it was a Kingpin because it was a 6-star, and I know that it's a poor matchup for Void because he's going to eat half of the debuffs, but I knew that I also needed Void for the Sabretooth mini because the other 2 people on the far right went up to the debuff immune mini, so it was pretty much up to me. So I said, I still have the big boost active. Let's just go in with Void. I'll just have to keep at it, keep adding the debuffs. Some of them are going to stick eventually. If he converts some of them into Rage, that's just what happens. So here he gets the Overpower, so he takes away all the debuffs, which, was not fun to see. Luckily, he's being cooperative with the special attacks. Kingpin's pretty beefy. Especially on this arc overload node, sorry. But really, all I'm looking for is a Petrify so that I can, cancel out some of that healing. So, still no Petrify. I get the second evade debuff, so really unlucky. The last 2 debuffs are going to be the Petrifies, but that's really just how it goes sometimes with Void. It's a little bit of RNG involved. So luckily, as I said, he's being very cooperative with his special attacks. So I finally get the Petrify up here, so that arc overload will be cut in half, which is great. And I think the second one gets supplied naturally here. Yep. All right. So he ate that one, of course, as he does. So I get Fear of the Void up anyway, which is weird. It looked like Fear of the Void procced without all 6 debuffs. I'm not really sure how that happened. I'll have to go back and review that. But nevertheless, get some additional degen on him, but he eats it at the last second. 1% health left, no degen active. Go in for the parry and the final hit down. So, making a good comeback here from that early timeout. My last fight of the war is a Sabretooth on the strike back recovery. So with Sabretooth on this node, sometimes with other champions, I will push them to S2 on purpose with my special, but with Sabretooth, the rocks in his special 2 are pretty hard to dodge for me, and you don't want to block him either. His S1 is fully evadable, and you can punish it. So I will only throw my special here when it makes sense and when I can not push him to 2 bars of power. I think I'm just going to hold my special 3 in case I get backed into the corner. Sometimes with Sabretooth, you have to double back swipe to dodge his additional initial attacks, and then he has that huge leap from his special 1. So you can get backed into a corner pretty easily in this fight. You can see he covers the whole screen. And he's building up the Furies as he's doing this, so if you get tagged, you're going to have a bad day. I get unlucky yet again in this fight, and the Petrify debuffs are the last two. But at this point, he's already at 40% health, so the Petrifies are just going to be kind of the icing on the cake. There's one up now, so his regen cut in half. Actually, it looks like he's not healing at all, probably from the Resonate Mastery, which is great. And I don't even think he makes it to the second Petrify before I let Sentry come in and finish the job. First war of the season, I figure, why not? Let's let Sentry get some work in since he never gets work in pretty much everywhere else. I take the screenshot there for the thumbnail. So that's it for me in this war. So we did end up winning the war. So to the guys and gals in Relax, good war to you. Starting off the season 1-0, always good. One death, not so good. Going to clean that up for next time. So until next video, thanks for watching and have a great week.